sweet.
And I'll bring you a ticket before halftime so that you can have that.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into our Twin Town Homes game of the week. This homecoming matchup between the Cony Rams and the Oxford Hills Vikings. That'll probably be the only time this year I'll be telling you good morning. We got another 9 minutes of morning before we kick this one off, so welcome in. My name is Ryan Coolidge. Up here in our broadcast booth, my producer, Stan Bennett. He's going to be pulling double duty today, doing camera, doing the producing, doing all the behind-the-scenes work, and you just have to listen to me talk, unfortunately for you. But welcome in. We have a matchup of two of the top teams in the state of Maine. Cony Rams, undefeated 3-0, atop Class B North, and the Oxford Hills Vikings 2-1, currently second in Class A North. Two of the top 10 teams in terms of the varsity Maine poll. Cony sitting at number 5. Oxford Hills ranked 9th currently. Cony in their last game out, they were on the road. They defeated Mount Blue 52-12. Those 12 points, the most points they've allowed in a single game to this point in the year. Through 3 games, Cony has outscored their opponents 154-18. Through 3 games. But this will be their first big test as they're going against a Vikings defense that hasn't allowed a point since September 5th against Portland. About to do the national anthem. I'll take a short little break. Terrific anthem by the Oxford Hills Comprehensive High School Band, led by Director Kyle Jordan. Let's get back into the football. Like I just mentioned, Oxford Hills hasn't allowed a point since their loss to Portland all the way back on September 5th. Their last time out, they were on the road against Edward Little, took down the Eddies 43-0. The Vikings defense in that game forced 4 turnovers, 3 of those being in the first quarter of that game when they led 21-0. So a high-powered offense against a very stout defense in this game. On homecoming, should be an entertaining matchup to say the least. The last time these two teams squared off was back in 2022. Had the Vikings defeating the Rams 42-6, but that game was only 14-6 at halftime. Oxford Hills, on the back of their 400 yards of total offense and 3 interceptions, was able to pull away in the second half to defeat the Rams on what was a very, very terrific season for the Vikings. Looking into these teams as they are set to do the coin toss, the Rams are led by their senior quarterback, Parker Morin. Morin's tossed 11 touchdowns this season on 0 interceptions. Hasn't turned the football over, throwing for over 700 yards of offense. 10 of those 11 touchdowns were thrown to the direction of fellow senior Ethan Demmons, who's taken all 10 of his catches to this point in the year for 6. Junior halfback Anderson Noyes, another key piece to that Rams offense. He's found the end zone 7 times this year, including 6 via the ground. Cony's defense, I already mentioned, only 18 points allowed all season. That unit is going to be highlighted by senior linebacker Caden Velo, leading this team with 20 tackles. Oxford Hills, they have a really good defense too. Like I said, hadn't allowed a point since their game against Portland. That defense is highlighted by the linebacker duo of Malachi Sparks and Curtis Fogg. They've had some terrific games this season, most notably last week against Edward Little. They were forced, or they had the task of mugging that line of scrimmage all game against that flexbone, wishbone offense that Edward Little ran. They were the catalyst of those 3 forced turnovers in the first half. Really helped the Vikings to that win. Their quarterback, Dylan Truman, he's going to be at the helm for the Vikings this year. He was a running back last season, so he's kind of been thrust into this role, playing quarterback for this Vikings offense. His best performance being a couple weeks ago against Massabesic here at home, tossing 2 touchdowns on just shy of 200 yards passing. Truman's main weapon, Cam Polkinen, he's been a key piece of not just the offense, but the defensive side of the ball as well. Those are some key players that you should be looking out for this game as we're about to get homecoming started for Oxford Hills. The Vikings will kick this off to begin the first half of what is Varsity Maine's game of the week. Their staff predictions coming into this. 2 riders picked Oxford Hills. The other 7 took the Rams in this matchup. We're about to find out who will take this one as the kick is off and underway from Polkinen, fielded inside the 10-yard line. Here's a nice return. Colton Colby down just across the 30 to the 31-yard line, which is where Parker Morin and the Rams offense will begin their day. Rams will come out first possession in the pistol. Running back's going to move up to Morin's right. Hand it off. Nice cut right there, but he's going to be down off of contact. Anderson Noyes can't get much running room. Has to juke off to the side. Hit by a Viking defender and immediately goes down. So a gain of 1 on the 1st and 10 carry for Noyes. Second and 9. Morin's screen pass, bubble screen, going backwards. Cam Roy there to make the play. And quickly it's 3rd and long for Cony. They're going to bring this one all the way back to about the 27-yard line. A loss of 5 on the bubble screen for number 5, Ben Hank. It's 3rd and long for Morin and company. Vikings showing cover 2. Morin looking left side. He's going to air that deep down the field. It's incomplete. In and out of the hands of a couple Cony receivers. Ethan Demons, the intended target, I believe. But it's incomplete, and the Vikings will force a 3-and-out on the first drive from the Rams offense. Polkinen back to return this one, as well as Jaden Cox. Cox botches it. Polkinen able to fall on it. Ball still out. Cox able to grab it. Bit of a scary scene right there, but the Vikings able to fall on it, and they will take over. Starting at the 41-yard line. Now it's time to see what the Vikings offense can do. Their defense got them a ball in great field position. Up past the 40, Truman. Little pop pass this time. Carter Davis in the game, the sophomore. He's going to get forward for about a yard, but not much else to be spoken of on that play. They credit him with a few inches up to the 42-yard line. 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Truman in the gun. He's got Roy to his right. Truman back to pass. He's looking on the left side of the field. He's got Polkinen, going to overthrow him. Cooper Clark, a senior captain for this Rams team, in coverage. And it's 3rd and long for the Vikings on their first drive. Vikings come to the line. They got trips on the right side with their tight end. Truman hands it on the draw to Roy. Roy's going to get a good chunk, but he's going to be tackled well short of the line to gain. It'll bring up 4th down, and in this territory, they're going to bring on the punt unit. It's 4th and about 3. But Oxford Hills doesn't want to give up if they don't make it. The ball on their side of the field, so they'll have Cam Polkinen back to punt this away. It's Cooper Clark set to return for Cony. Clark gonna fair catch it, and he'll be marked down at about the 13-yard line. So a couple of 3-and-outs for both of these offenses to begin this game. About 8:47 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Morin botches the snap. It's a low snap. He's able to pick it up and hand it off, but they're not going to get much of anything going on that play. Noyes, I think, might even lose a yard on that play. Back to the 12-yard line. 2nd and about 11. Motion man is Demons. Morin looking. He's going to fire deep down the field again in the direction of Cox. It's incomplete, flag thrown on the play. It was in the hands of Hank. He just dropped it, but the flag might give Cony the first down regardless. Pass interference on the defense is the call. So this will give Cony a first down.
First and 10 Rams for 20-yard line.
So new set of downs after the pass interference call. First and 10 from the 27. Morin pump fakes. He's going to launch it. He's got a man. Incomplete. Can't hang on to it. Jackson Stack with the pass breakup. Morin had his man Demons down the sideline. Stack coming from the far side of the field, getting the hit on the legs, and it forces the drop for Demons. 2nd and 10. Morin, he's going to hand off. No, it's a play action. Another dropped pass. He had his man wide open over the middle. Fooled me with the play action. Demons just can't hang on to it, and it's 3rd and 10. Doubles formation for Cony. Morin's back to throw. He's looking left. Fires. Got his man at the 40-yard line. Trying to make a play, but he's dragged down by Malachi Sparks out of bounds at the 40. That'll be good enough for a Rams first down. Landon Perry found his way open. Able to move the chains. The first down of this game for either team on an actual play instead of a penalty. New set of downs. Demons goes in motion. Morin tosses outside to Noyes. Sparks can't make the tackle. Noyes trying to get to the sideline. He's going to go fall forward for a couple. Maybe getting past the 40 to the 41, 42-yard line. He ran probably 20 yards on that play, and it goes down as an official gain of 1 to bring up 2nd and 9. Send Clark in motion behind. It's going to be a double pass down the field. Stack can't make the play. Cony field flipping. Ben Hank gets it all the way down to the 31-yard line of the Vikings. New set of downs in Viking territory. Morin, he's going to roll right immediately. Fires. Finds his man down the field. Demons makes his first catch of the game. It's about a yard shy of the first down, up to the 22-yard line. Second and about a yard to go for the Rams. They're mounting a good drive on their second opportunity of the game. Handoff is to Noyes. He'll get forward past the 20-yard line. Good enough for a Cony first down. Gain of 3 on the carry. Resets the sticks.
That'll be a first down for Rams.
Morin, he's going to be back to throw. Gets it. That ball looked like it hit the turf, but they're going to say it's a catch. Cooper Clark with the reception. Spotted up the 12-yard line. Second and a few. Morin. Play action, fakes it. He's going to keep it himself. Running down the right sideline. Diving for the pylon. Out of bounds. Say he stepped out right before he dove across. Marking him at the 3-yard line, but it's first and goal to go for the Rams. A little over 5 minutes left to be played in this first quarter. Still scoreless, but the Rams knocking on the door. He hands off to Noyes. Flag down in the backfield. Currently, it's a touchdown. It's going to be a full start on Cony. So that'll wipe out the touchdown, move him back 5. And they'll take it first and goal from the 8-yard line. So back-to-back plays where if you're a Cony fan, you think you should have had a touchdown, but marked out of bounds on the Morin run, and now a full start on an Anderson Noyes touchdown from 3 yards out. It's first and goal from the 8. It looks like B.L. Lippert asking the head official what's going on. They just reconfirm it was a false start. First and goal from the 8. Play action Noyes. He's got his man in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Landon Perry with the reception. And Cony will take the lead 6-0 in the first quarter. On for the extra point, Alden Wilkinson. Kick is up and through. So both offenses go 3 and out on their opening series. Cony gets the ball all the way back at their own 13-yard line, drives down and scores the first points of this game, and the first points allowed by Oxford Hills since they played Portland way back at the beginning of the month. Seven 0 Cony after their touchdown. Set to kick this away. Shaquan Fellows. Going to be fielded by Roy up the field, up past the 20. Roy's going to get past the 35-yard line. Brought down just past that 35. Vikings will take over for their second offensive possession. They are forced to punt on their opening drive this afternoon. Looking to match the score Cony just put on their defense. Truman fumbles the snap. He's going to have to just fall on it. So they'll go all the way back to the 32, officially a loss of 5 on the bobbled snap. Second and 15 for Oxford Hills. Three receivers to Truman's right. He'll hand it to Roy. Roy will fumble it. Ball's on the ground. It looks like one of the Vikings linemen able to fall on it, Kirby Vaughn. So back-to-back fumbles on first and second down. Make this a 3rd and forever for the Vikings. 3rd and 20. Three receivers to Truman's left now. Handoff to Chris Levesque, going to try to power his way forward. Breaking through a couple tackle attempts. There he goes down to the 40-yard line. So a gain of over 10 yards on 3rd and 20, but well short of the mark to gain, and it is 4th down. About 3 minutes left to play in this first quarter. Cony leads it 7-0, and the Vikings are forced to punt their second straight 3-and-out to begin this game. Clark has to run back to track this down, stumbles, able to get back up, flag thrown from very far away, and Clark's going to get up past the 25-yard line to the 26. Let's see what this flag thrown was. It was thrown by the official on the close side of the field all the way back at like the 35-yard line, and he launched that thing. It sits at the 17, so it must have happened far back. And it's going to be a block in the back on the punt return. Ball will be placed at the 10-yard line.
It'll be first and 10 Rams at the 10-yard line.
First and 10 play, Anderson Noyes cuts through. Noyes will get this. Going to see the spot all the way up at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 10. And should move the sticks. So the block in the back puts their punt return back at the 10-yard line where they started this drive. Anderson Noyes gets a nice gain of 10 on first down. And they'll do it again, first and 10 from the 20 for Cony. Motion man is Demons. They'll hand it to Noyes. He's going to get about 3 on the carry. Cam Polkinen there to make the tackle. Mark him up at the 24-yard line, gain of 4. Time winding down in this first quarter. Just a little over a minute left. Cony leads Oxford Hills 7-0. Play action to Noyes. Morin looking deep down the field. He's got his man beat. Demons in and out of his hands. He dropped it. A for sure touchdown. Slips through his fingers. And the Vikings catch a break. Third down. Vikings defense looking for a stop on 3rd and 6. Running back to Morin's left. He's back to throw. He's looking down the left side. He's going to throw up the seam. Cox can't get a hand on it. It's caught. Ben Hank down the field, stiff arm, still on his feet, flat down, and he's brought down just across the 15. Huge field flipper for Cony. Wait to see what this penalty is. Cony starting to head back a little ways. It's a face mask on the offense. That might wipe out. No, they're going to place it down at the 36-yard line. So they were down inside the 20-yard line, but the offensive face mask from Hank pushes them all the way back to the 36 with about 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Noyes going to take a direct snap, and he's going nowhere. Vikings bring him down in the backfield. Back at the 30-yard line, and that will do it for the first quarter. Cony leads Oxford Hills 7-0 as we'll flip sides of this field. Just want to give a quick shout out to Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Big Apple Food Stores, and CN Brown Energy for being this year's supporting sponsors for high school sports on WOXO and BRG Sports. If you or a business owner that you know would like to become a sponsor of Vikings varsity football and basketball here on WOXO and BRG Sports, just call 207-743-5911. Once again, it's 207-743-5911. We'll switch sides of the field. Cony with possession in Viking territory. It'll be 2nd and 12 when they break this huddle as we break into the second quarter of this homecoming game. Second and 12 for the Rams. Morin, he's looking right, quick throw. Almost intercepted by Cam Roy. Through his hands and incomplete on the quick out. It's 3rd and long. That was a smart play from Roy that time. Clearly the Vikings have been practicing that all throughout the week. They came out ready for that one. Just slips through the fingertips of Roy that time. 3rd down, empty backfield for the Rams. Vikings bring 5. Flushing out more into his right on the run, throwing it downfield, gets his man open! Ethan Devins, touchdown!
Why would you stop running? You're a safety!
2 defenders on him. He leaks free, finds the end zone, and extends the Rams' lead. Flag down. Flag was just thrown prior to this point after attempt. And it looks like the offense is back on the field for Cony. And now an unsportsmanlike conduct on Oxford Hills. Penalty should be declined. So now the point after attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. Cony now leads 14-0 as we just broke through in the second quarter. And no, we're going to replay it. Coach Danforth for the Vikings is down at the 20 talking to 2 officials. My guess is trying to figure out what the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was and who it was on. But we're going to try this extra point again. Second attempt is up and through. So now it's official. Cony leads 14-0. Not quite sure what happened that time out. But the Rams, 2 passing touchdowns for senior quarterback Parker Morin. He's now 13 on the season to 0 interceptions. Almost had his first to Cam Roy on that same drive. And it looks like whatever penalty it was is going to be assessed on the kickoff as the Rams are setting up on the Vikings 45-yard line.
Penalty will be assessed on kickoff. Cony will kick off on the 45-yard line.
Cox and Polkinen are back deep to return for Oxford Hills. Kicks away. It's going to be short, bouncing at the 10-yard line. Polkinen to return. No one blocking. He's going to cut back field. Polkinen has some room to run. Going to be tackled just past the 20-yard line. Making some men miss. Able to get a nice little return out of that one down at the 22-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over for their third drive of this first half. They've run 6 offensive plays. They've been forced to punt after back-to-back 3-and-outs to begin this game, and they find themselves in a 14-0 deficit in this second quarter. Motion man is Polkinen. It's a pop pass to him. Breaks through one tackle attempt. Here's Polkinen. Polkinen get by into the second level past the 40. Forced out of bounds just shy of midfield. Nice chunk play from Oxford Hills that time. Marked just shy of midfield at the 49. Huge gain of 20 plus on 1st and 10. We'll do 1st and 10 again. Truman hands to Perry, or Ridley, excuse me. Keegan Ridley with the carry, gets up right at the midfield stripe. 2nd and 9 due for the Vikings. Sparks now in the backfield for the Vikings. They hand it to him. Sparks trying to get to the outside. He has room to run. He's up past the first down marker. Flag thrown right at the mark. He's down, marked just past the 40 to the 39-yard line. We'll see what this penalty is thrown for. It's holding on the Vikings.
There's nobody there.
So that'll take back that nice run play for Oxford Hills. They'll move it back on the Viking side of the field, back to the original line of scrimmage, the 49, as the penalty occurred on the Cony 41. We'll do it again on 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Coming off of their first down of this first half. 2nd and 10. Truman back to throw. Moves to his right, steps up, looking to take off. He launches it, crosses body down the field. Almost intercepted, but it's dropped and brings up 3rd down. There's a flag down. It's a holding call on the Vikings in the backfield. So this is going to be another 3rd and long for the Vikings. This might actually say second down, actually. So 2nd and 20 for the Vikings. They got a huge chunk play to begin the drive by Polkinen. Since then, a 1-yard carry. A nice carry from Sparks, called back due to holding, and holding on that play. Now make it 2nd and 20 from their own 39. They need to get back up to the Rams 41 to move the sticks, and a timeout is taken by Oxford Hills. They'll talk this over. Back-to-back penalties from the Vikings offense. They're down 14-0. They knew it was going to be a tough game going into it. Nothing that this team hasn't faced before. Nothing that this team hasn't already faced this season. They traveled and took on one of, if not the top team in the state of Maine, the Portland Bulldogs, week 1. They only lost that game by 14 points. So they're not a stranger to being down in these tough games. And there's still plenty of time left for Oxford Hills in this game. It just looks like after throwing back-to-back shutouts, Vikings may be a little rattled being down this early by this much. 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 20, excuse me, from the 39-yard line. Truman, he's going to be back to throw, stepping up, rolling to his left, looking for somewhere to go to, throws it. It's going to be well short of his receiver, and it's 3rd and long.
They're all bailing to 25 yards.
Number 3 Riley Carey intended to receive on the play. They'll bring up 3rd and long for the Vikings.
Third and long once again this game for Oxford Hills. They need to get this up past midfield to the Cony 41-yard line to keep this drive going. It's a jet sweep to Cam Polkinen. Polkinen spins out of one tackler, but he's going to be wrapped up nice and tight at the 39. No gain on that carry, and it's 4th down. He might have gotten 1 yard, I think they'll credit him with. So it's 4th and 19, but the Vikings still going to be forced to punt. Polkinen to boot this away, almost blocked by Hank, but he gets it away. Gonna roll inside the 20-yard line before it's finally downed right around the 17-yard line. Cony will take over. Their past 2 possessions, they've scored 2 touchdowns from their quarterback, Parker Morin. It's about 9.5 minutes left in this first half of play. First and 10 for the Rams. They'll send the tight end across the line. They hand it off to Anderson Noyes. Noyes gets out to the left side. Finds a couple Vikings defenders. He's brought down at the 26-yard line. So 2nd and short, 2nd and about a yard to gain for the Rams. Morin with Noise to his right. He'll fake the handoff. Morin's not going to get very far on that carry.
Not the quarterback. Clark, tell him he needs to hit that goddamn quarterback. He was unblocked and just sat there. Kid fumbled the ball.
It'll be no gain officially. You got back to the line of scrimmage, so 3rd and about a yard for the Rams now.
He just sat there. If he just hits the kid, that's a fumble. He dropped.
Just a little under 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first half. Cony leads 14-0, and they have possession. Noise takes the handoff. He jumps and dives forward. They're going to mark him back at the 25, and it's 4th down for Cony. Official on the back side of that play said his knee was down when the ball was at the 25. So it's a loss of a yard, and Cony forced a punt.
Screen. Short screen to the flat over here. They need 2 yards.
Punt is away. Cox set to return. He's able to grab it. It hits right in between his legs, but he's able to grab it at the very least. They'll begin this drive at the 39-yard line. Still not much to speak of offensively for the Vikings. They've had 3 drives, all 3 ending in punts. First and 10 for the Vikings. High snap. Truman forced a fall on it back inside his own 30-yard line. Third missed snap of this first half. It'll be 2nd and long for the Vikings once again. Clock ticking now, under 7 minutes left to play in this first half. Truman bobbles the snap. Cony's going to fall on that. That's a turnover. Cony falls on the fumble. Off the fingertips of Truman. They cough the football up, and Cony will start with it all the way on the Vikings' 25-yard line. Direct snap to Noise. Cuts through, hit hard before he falls forward at the 25-yard line. Or the 20-yard line. Flag down on the play. Penalty appears to be on Oxford Hills. They're going to bring this ball all the way down to the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal. And Oxford Hills will take a timeout. I'll take a timeout right with them. We'll be back when the Vikings and the Rams are set to begin this first and goal. Both sides back out on the field. It'll be first and goal to go from the 10-yard line for the Rams. Once again, Anderson Noyes set to take the direct snap. He's going to run to his right. The Vikings going to get him down in the backfield. Cam Roy, first man, hitting him in his legs before he's brought down. We're back at the 13-yard line, it looks like. Second and goal, back from the 13. Morin back in at Q. He's looking to throw. Fires across the middle. He's got his man, but it's incomplete. He had Landon Perry for 6, but the hit from Keegan Ridley jars the ball loose in the end zone, and it's third down. It's a nice job from Ridley coming across. The man was open in that cover 2. Ridley comes across, delivers a nice hit, and forces that ball out. And before this third and goal play, Cony will take their first timeout. Just wanted to read a quote that I saw in an article yesterday or the morning before from Anderson Noyes, the junior halfback on this Cony team. He said, quote, "They're a physical team, and they're going to go out there and try to drive to the football, but I think our athleticism can beat that. Our O-line has been great this year, and with how they're playing, hopefully it can open up some nice lanes in the running game." They've had quite a bit of that. Anderson Noyes has found some room to run this game. He's opened up that passing game for Parker Morin and the Rams, which is a big part as to why they lead by 14. It's forcing that Vikings secondary to respect the run, have them play down, and Morin's able to capitalize, throwing it over the top and finding these holes in these cover 2 and cover 3 zones the Vikings are throwing out there. Noyes goes in motion on third and goal from the 13, deep into the end zone. Fighting for the ball. They still don't know who has it. It's Anderson Noyes and Jackson Stack in the far corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Cony. The official on the far side confirms it. A touchdown for the junior. And the third passing touchdown for Parker Morin. And to the very clear dismay of the Vikings crowd, the Vikings student section over on the right side of these bleachers, Their Vikings trail 20-0 pending this extra point from Wilkinson. Kick is up and it is through. It is 21-0 in favor of Cony. 5:24 left to play in this first half. Vikings haven't trailed by more than 14 points all season. They trail now in the first half by 21. Fellows set to kick this off for the third time this game. They'll go to the direction of Jaden Cox. It's off his face mask. He's able to grab it back easily, and now Jaden Cox breaks through. Flag down on the close side of the field, but Jaden Cox, for the time being, has a kick return touchdown. If this flag is on Oxford Hills, that'll wipe out that huge return. The flag was down at the 35-yard line. A Viking and a Ram were basically hugging each other, so I'm thinking this might be on the Vikings. The officials are talking it out right at the midfield logo. But it's looking like this one might be coming back. Holding on the Vikings is the call, and this crowd has erupted. It's holding on the Vikings, and it's unsportsmanlike conduct on the Rams, so they're offsetting penalties. And we will kick this ball off again. And this Viking crowd has lit up in this second quarter. A chorus of boos rained out as soon as that arm motion from the official went toward the Viking side. But we'll kick this one off again from Shaquan Fellows. High kick. Keegan Ridley gonna field it. Ridley getting to the outside, still on his feet. He's gonna be down at the 35-yard line. They said, we've seen Cam Polkinen return. We just saw Jaden Cox take that kick to the house before the offsetting penalties. We're not even going to kick to either of these returners. We're going to kick it to the up men. Still get the ball up to the 35-yard line, but a far cry from what the Vikings had just had happen on that previous kickoff. It's 1st and 10 for Oxford Hills at their own 35-yard line. Just a little over 5 minutes left to play in this first half. Polkinen in motion. They fake it to him. Roy with the handoff. Rams stay at home, and they're going to go backwards, losing 3 yards on the carry by Roy. And it's officials' timeout as Wyatt Grover is still down on the field, clutching his midsection. Not a good sign. just to update you folks real quick, Grover is still down on the field. They brought the EMS vehicle out onto the field. They're tending to him right now. Likely going to move him into the vehicle and bring him down to get looked at, but we just hope that everything's going to be all right with him. And we'll be back when the game is set to continue. All right, folks. Wyatt Grover is able to stand up on the field where they sat him down and they moved him into the back of the EMS vehicle. We're taking him down to get looked at, and we just hope that everything is going to be okay with him. Wish nothing for the best for that young man. Very scary sight to see here on Saturday afternoon. So we just hope everything's going to be all right with him, and he'll be able to quickly recover from whatever he's got going on. Rams and Vikings set to continue this game. It's 2nd and 13 for Oxford Hills. There's just under 5 minutes left in this first half to be played. Truman, quick pass on the right side. Got his man, Riley Perry, but he's quickly tackled on the far side of the field. It's going to be a gain all the way up to the 37-yard line. And 3rd and about 8 for Oxford Hills. Sparks in the backfield for the Vikings. They got trips down on the close side of the field. Try to go with a hard count. They hand it to Sparks. Sparks trying to beat him on the outside. Breaks through one tackle attempt. He's out of bounds. Past the 40-yard line. Going to be short of the mark to gain. They marked him up at about the 42-yard line. It's 4th down. And I think the Vikings might be going for it. No, they're bringing a lot of their offensive linemen off the field. I think they are going to punt. So for the 4th time this game, Pulkkinen set to boot this one away. Cooper Clark back to return. Bounces it around the 30-yard line. It's going to roll all the way inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's where the Rams will take over. Sixth offensive possession for Cony coming up. They've punted twice and they've scored 3 touchdowns through the air, courtesy of their quarterback Parker Morin. Now 14 touchdowns on the year to 0 interceptions. Send their tight end across. Morin hands left. Noise gets up past the 20-yard line. He's slammed down by, I believe, Malachi Sparks on the tackle. Gain of 3 on the carry. Call it even like 3.5. Second and about 7 or 8. 3 minutes left to play in this second quarter. Cony leads 21-0 with possession of the ball. Morin back to throw. He's rolling right. Steps up. Fires it down the sideline. Boxing out. He's got his man. Cooper Clark down the sideline. Makes a man miss, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Stutter step to get by Keegan Ridley. And Cooper Clark is in for the 4th Cony touchdown of this game. But holding on the offense. So that play's coming back. Might even be offensive pass interference. But that play, that long touchdown is coming back. And the Vikings catch a break. This ball's now all the way down. Jeez, at the Cony 11-yard line. So from all the way from scoring a touchdown to the ball now placed at your own 11-yard line. 2nd and long. 2nd and about 20 yards. Morin's going to be back to throw. He's looking left. He's rolling left. He's sacked. The ball is out. The ball came out. Curtis Fogg with the strip sack. Vikings saying they have it. No official signal from the referees yet. First down, Vikings. Morin trying to buy time. rolling out to his left, rears back to throw, and Curtis Fogg sticks him. Forces the fumble, and the Vikings take over at the 4-yard line. Truman hands to Levesque. He's not going very far. I think he might have gotten a yard on the carry that time. 2nd and goal with about 2 minutes left to play in this first half. That strip sack, the first mistake that the Rams have really made this afternoon. They set the Vikings up. Goal to go. Hungry for their first points of the game at 2nd and goal. And a full start. That'll push him back 5. After the full start penalty, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Best thing I think the Vikings can do right here, they kicked it off to begin this game. If they can hold this ball for the next minute and however many seconds, punch it into the end zone, they have a good chance to double up, make this a one-possession game coming out of halftime. Here's a pop pass to Cam Roy, or Cam Polkinen. Polkinen breaks through tacklers, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. It may have taken him the entire first half to do it, but the jet pass to Cam Polkinen, he breaks through a couple tackle attempts, and he finds his way into the end zone, getting Oxford Hills on the board with 1 minute and 7 seconds left to play in this first half. Extra point from Polkinen, up and good. A 7-point play for the senior. Vikings now trail Cony 21-7. That entire possession, that touchdown drive, was kick-started by senior linebacker Curtis Fogg, breaking through on the blitz, getting to the quarterback, forcing that fumble, and setting his offense up in terrific field position. Polkinen set to kick this one off. And on the left side, Demons able to grab it at about the 10-yard line. Demons cutting back to the middle of the field. Demons trying to get to the outside. Demons breaking free of some tacklers. Here's Demons up the sideline, dropped by Polkinen. Huge return from Ethan Demons that time, setting up Cony in good field position. Up past the 40-yard line, up to the 43. Cony, they have about 55 seconds to work with left in the second quarter. Clark comes in motion. More in play action. Little bubble screen or a little wide receiver screen. Finds Ben Hank. Gets forward. Looks like up past midfield. onto the Vikings side of the ball. Cony trying to run tempo. They're up at the 49 across midfield. Time winding down. In just under 30 seconds. Anderson Noyes gets the carry. He breaks through the first wave. Here goes Noyes up the sideline. Brought down out of bounds at about the 30. Out of bounds, stops the clock with 22 ticks left. They have 30 yards to go. They actually marked this ball back at the 31-yard line. .22 seconds left. Cony trying to put something on the board before giving it back to the Vikings. And an official timeout on the field. He's walking over toward the Rams sideline. Now he's walking back. And they're good to go. Not quite sure what was going on that far side of the field. But the situation seems to have taken care of itself. 1st and 10 from the 31. Morin, he's back to throw. He's looking sideline deep down the field. Jaden Cox picks it off. His first interception of the year. Vikings keep the Rams out of the end zone. He's down at the 2-yard line, but with 15 seconds left, I think the Vikings will take it. Time for maybe 1 or 2 more plays if the Vikings can call a quick timeout. They trail 21-7 in this first half. The one thing the Vikings can't do is take a safety in this situation. From the 2-yard line. False start on the Vikings. Half the distance to the goal. And they are backed up as far as they can be at the 1-yard line. First and 11. They hand off. Malachi Sparks. Here he goes. Sparks with room to run. He's up to the 20. He caught up the football. Cony has it with 7 seconds left.
Just run through it! Why would you do that? Who was ever said to a spin? Finally get something going.
Cony takes over with 6 seconds left in the half.
Spin move in the open field. Just run.
So with time for a couple plays, the Vikings get a big chunk on the run before it's fumbled by Sparks. And Cony with enough time for 1 shot play to the end zone. Morin, he's back to throw. He's looking. On the post, he's going to overthrow his receiver. The wind took it. There's 1 second left on the clock. And they have one final shot. I've said that like 3 times, but this time I promise. 1.6 on the clock. Enough time for 1 more deep throw. Vikings loading that secondary. They have 3 down linemen. I'm almost thinking if you're Cony, you try to throw it short of the end zone and have your playmakers make someone miss, try to find the end zone. Morin, it's exactly what they're going to do. It's incomplete, and that will do it for the first half of this game. Cony leads 21-7 at the half. But the Vikings finally have some momentum going their way. We'll be back when this second half is ready to kick off. Welcome back in, folks. It's our Twin Town Homes game of the week. We're currently at halftime with the Cony Rams leading the Oxford Hills Vikings 21-7. Vikings should be receiving the second half kickoff. It's been an interesting half of football, to say the least. Vikings have started out really, really cold, especially in that first quarter, punting on their first 3 straight drives, having a fumble, coughed up, punting again. But finally, after the Vikings defense forces a turnover, they punch it in from about 4 yards out. Cam Polkinen with the lone Viking touchdown in this first half. Cony has had Parker Morin, their senior quarterback, toss 3 touchdowns to have the Rams out in front by this margin, but he's also thrown his first interception of the season right before halftime took place. He was picked off by senior Jaden Cox over on the far side of the field. That turned into a Vikings fumble, and that turned into the end of the half as the Rams were not able to amount anything with about 6 seconds left on the clock. But the Rams offense has been clicking, especially in that first quarter. Touchdowns to Landon Perry, a touchdown thrown to Ethan Demmons, and a receiving touchdown for Anderson Noyes, just his second receiving touchdown of the season. That makes 8 for him total, as he's got 6 on the ground. Vikings have some momentum going into the second half. They get the ball after kicking it off to start this game out. They just scored prior to halftime, so a good chance for them to take this opening kick from the second half and turn it into 7, making this a 1-possession game. They got to come out. They got to have their game face on, ready to go. They can't make any more of these mistakes they've been making. We've seen 4 botched snaps, one of which was lost for that fumble I mentioned earlier. We've seen a ton of false starts on potential hard counts, trying to get the defense to jump. A lot of false starts on those. They have to clean these things up if they want to come back in this game. This is a good team they're facing on the other side. It's going to be a battle to climb back, but it's nothing that Oxford Hills is not uncommon to. We are just about ready to get this third quarter underway. Cony will be kicking off to the Vikings. Last time they had to kick off, it was returned for a touchdown by Jaden Cox. It got called back due to offsetting penalties. And after seeing Cam Polkinen break tacklers, Jaden Cox break through, they decided they're not going to even kick to these Viking returners. They kicked it at around the 20-yard line to one of the up men. So we're going to see if they come out in this second half and boot it deep, or if they're going to try the same strategy, get it to either Cam Roy over on the left or to Keegan Ridley over on the right, the far side, standing at the 25s. But kick is away. They are going to short it, but it's going to go a little further than he would have liked. It's Cam Polkinen on the return. Here he goes, trying to get to the right sideline. He's got Clark in front of him. Stiff arms him to the ground. He's going to be brought down. Nowhere to go after that. But a nice return from Polkinen. It'll set the Vikings up in nice field position to begin the second half. They'll begin the second half at the 36. Empty backfield for Truman to start things out. He'll send Roy in motion. Pop pass to Cam Roy. He's trying to get to the sideline. Gets up past the 40-yard line. Marked out about the 43-yard line, it looks like. Nice gain of about 7 yards on that first down run. Brings up 2nd and 3. Vikings trail by 14 as we're beginning the second half. They have possession. Curtis Fogg in the backfield to Truman's right. He'll take the handoff. Falling forward, he breaks through a tackle attempt. Here goes Curtis Fogg past midfield, past the 40-yard line, marked down at the 36. Nice pickup that time from the senior Curtis Fogg. He's had a very, very good afternoon, forcing that fumble, getting the Vikings their first points. Gets a carry that time for 20-plus yards into Ram territory, and the Vikings are driving to begin this second half. Ridley now in the backfield as the tailback. They hand it to him, looking for a little counter action, gets up past the 35-yard line to about the 34. Flag down on the far side of the field. See what that is. Jackson Stack and Cooper Clark of Oxford Hills and Cony respectively in the area of that flag. The officials will talk it over. Personal foul is on Cony. So my guess is that penalty was probably on Cooper Clark. I'm not 100% certain, so I'm not going to credit him with that. That was just the closest Ram in the area to the flag. However, the defensive penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct is going to give Oxford Hills an automatic first down inside the red zone. Ridley in the backfield. Here's the snap. Truman throwing, corner of the end zone. Jackson Stack! Put some stickum on those fingers. It's a touchdown for the Vikings. Truman from 19 yards out fires on the sideline, and Jackson Stack snatches it out of the air and brings the Vikings within one score. Polkinen for the extra point. Kick is up and more than through the uprights. 21-14, the Vikings have made this a one-possession game. Less than 2 minutes into this second half. The Vikings did exactly what they needed to do. After they forced that fumble down at the 4, they punch it in, keep the ball out of the end zone, take the second half kickoff, march it right down the field, and score once again. They've taken their 21-point deficit and they've made this a one-score game with more than plenty of time remaining in this second half. We're not even 2 minutes into this third quarter. This is a ball game, folks. I told you it was going to be good. Back deep to return this kickoff for Cony is Ethan Demmons, as well as I believe that is Colton Colby of the Rams. Kickoff fielded by Demmons at about the 8-yard line. Here he goes. He has room to run, trying to cut up the middle of the field. He is swarmed by the Vikings defense. Gets up past the 30-yard line. Call it the 32-yard line, which is where Parker Morin will take back over. for this Rams offense. He had a really, really good first half until about 2 minutes left to go in the half, where he coughed the football up at the 4-yard line on the strip sack and threw the interception just shy of the end zone. Other than those 2 plays, he's played outstanding this game. 3 touchdown passes to his name. He's the reason these Rams are out in front. Here's the handoff. Trying to get to the sideline is Anderson St. Onge. He's able to get maybe a yard upfield. Oh no, he goes backwards. Loss of 2 for St. Onge on that play. Second down for Cony. Empty set for the Rams. Fakes the screen pass. He's got a receiver wide open down the field. He finds Landon Perry down the sideline. Stack drags him down out of bounds inside the 10, but a huge chunk play for Cony. That was excellent play calling from the Cony coaching staff on that play. They've been running that wide receiver screen all game long. Vikings have been coached on it. They're looking to step up and tackle them short before they can get anything going. They fake the screen, the secondary bites, and they have a wide open junior receiver for a huge chunk play. And Jackson Stack comes all the way across the field, makes a touchdown-saving tackle. But St. Onge on the next play runs it in from 9 yards out, and Cony gets it right back for the touchdown. St. Onge takes that carry 9 yards out, slipping through tackle attempts, finds his way into the end zone, and gets this back to a 14-point lead pending the extra point from Wilkinson. He missed it. It is a 13-point game after the missed PAT. 27-14, and we have not even played 3 minutes in this second half. We've already seen 2 touchdowns. The offenses have come alive to start this second half. Fellows will kick this one off right to Cam Polkinen. Polkinen breaks free. Cam Polkinen stays on his feet. This could be a return touchdown. 1 man to beat. He's got the sideline. He's got the 6. Polkinen gets it right back for the Vikings. There's a flag down at the 45-yard line. The officials picked up the flag. It is a touchdown. Head official has the flag in his hands. He's walking over to Coach Danforth on the Vikings sideline. So they're trying to see if it was a penalty on Cony. The Vikings offense has come onto the field. So I believe what has happened is it is a return touchdown for Polkinen. There's a penalty on Cony. Coach Danforth has accepted it, so it's half the distance to the goal on the PAT try. So the Vikings are going to go for it here and try to get 2 points. Truman, quarterback keeper. He's held up behind the line, pitches it out to Polkinen, whistle blown, and the Vikings sideline is irate. Heads up lateral by Truman, but just a hair too late. The play is blown dead. So the 2-point conversion fails. And some guy in the crowd said he is getting real mad. And it's a sentiment that I think most of this Vikings crowd is sharing with that gentleman. So the 2-point conversion is no good after the whistle is blown. This is still a 7-point game, 27-20. We have still yet to play 3 minutes into this third quarter, and we have seen 3 touchdowns. 2 by Oxford Hills, 1 by Cony. The Rams still have the lead. Polkinen to kick off. It's going to bounce short of the returners. It's lateraled, so it's going to be Demons taking it. Driven by 3 Vikings defenders at the 30-yard line. Stadium announcer credits Riley Perry with the tackle. Another flag down on the far side of the field I'm seeing. There has been a lot of laundry in this homecoming game for the Vikings. It's Cony first down. It looks like the penalty may be on Oxford Hills. Face mask on the Vikings, I believe, is the call. I don't think I saw a face mask. But there was also 3 defenders right in the area. Could have just been hard to see. So Cony will begin their drive at the 45-yard line. Nine minutes remaining in the third quarter. We have officially passed the 3 minutes played mark in this third quarter. And it's 1st and 10 for the Rams. Raymond comes in motion across. Play action. Morin rolling. Morin throwing. He's got his man on the sideline. Cooper Clark makes the catch. Had to come back for it a little bit. I'm not sure if they're going to give him the first down with forward progress on the catch. They are not. They mark this at the 47-yard line of the Vikings across midfield. Bring up 2nd and about 2 to go. Morin, hands off. St. Ange gets a few on the carry. Looks like a good 5 yards. Good enough to move the chains for the Rams. And I'm a little surprised. I don't know if there was an injury or it's a coaching decision, but we have not seen Anderson Noyes on the field this second half. His snaps are being taken by Anderson St. Ange in the backfield at running back. That is something to watch out for. Play action. Morin throws it down the right sideline. Incomplete. Flag thrown. Offensive pass interference, I believe, should be the call, because Clark had his hands draped all over Riley Perry. And St. Ange is being helped off the field. And no, he's gonna be down at right around midfield. He was trying to be helped off by his teammate Demarion Raymond. But St. Ange is clearly hurt on that last play. They're going to try to help him up and walk him off the field. Cony's coaching staff has got him. They're going to walk him off the field, and hopefully everything's going to be all right with him. So St. Ange comes into the game for Anderson Noyes, but now he's being helped off the field. And will they bring Noyes back on out there? I don't know if he got hurt or if they just decided to play St. Ange. But they've got Colton Colby in the game in the backfield. Play action, it's thrown. Ball comes out! The ball is out! Vikings get it at midfield! Ben Hank coughed it up. So the screen pass to Hank is fumbled. Recovered by Keegan Ridley of the Vikings. And Oxford Hills has it 1st and 10 from the midfield stripe. Handoff to Malachi Sparks. He bounces outside. Here he goes up the sideline. Here he goes, Malachi Sparks with room to run. Up past the 30 and out of bounds. Don't look now, folks. But here come the Vikings. They can tie it on this drive if they punch it into the end zone. They're up past the 30-yard line already, up to the 28 after the 22-yard pickup from the senior Malachi Sparks. New set of downs for the Vikings. Ridley's the back, and he gets the carry. He's tackled, gets a couple yards on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down from about the 26-yard line. Call it 2nd and 8. Seven minutes left to play in this third quarter. Vikings trail by 7, but they have possession, and they're deep into enemy territory. Second and 8. Roy is in the backfield to Truman's right. It's a little handoff, jet sweep. Cam poking in with room to run. Inside the 20, inside the 10. Just short of the end zone, marked down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal. First and goal from the 1. If I were to guess, well, my guess is out the window. I thought they were going to bring big Chris Levesque into the game. They're going to run trips on the left side, Davis in at tight end. Fogg in at running back. They hand it to Fogg. Powers through. Ties the game for the Vikings. Curtis Fogg has had a terrific game, and he is rewarded with the 1-yard rushing touchdown. Senior finds his way into the end zone in his final homecoming game. PAT from Pulkkinen is up, is good. This game is tied 27 apiece. We're not halfway through this third quarter. We have got a good one, ladies and germs, all tied up with about a little over 18 minutes left to play in this homecoming game at the Gwine. Vikings trailed 21-0 in the second quarter. They've brought it all the way back to a tie game. Pulkkinen to kick this one off. Bounces at the 10-yard line. Bobbled out of bounds at the 5-yard line. It bounces at the 10. Ethan Demmons can't get a hand on it. And very far are the Rams backed up. The furthest back they've started any drive this game at their own 5-yard line. If I was Coach Danforth, I think he'd be bringing pressure right here. Colton Colby in the game as the halfback. He gets the carry. He gets a few yards forward, giving them some extra room to work with on second down. Call it a gain of 2 on that carry, it looks like, marked down at the 7. Second and 8. Morin fakes the handoff, throws it over the middle. He's got his man, Demmons. Should be good enough for a Rams first down up past the 15-yard line. Gain of about 9 on the completion from Morin. Over 200 yards passing this afternoon for the senior. New set of downs, 1st and 10. They hand it off. He's going backwards. Let's see who made that nice play, Will Foresta. And please correct me if I'm wrong pronouncing that name, but I think it's fun. Loss of a yard on the TFL by the sophomore. So 2nd and 11. Morin rolls to his left. Getting chased by Fogg, throwing it across his body, popped up and incomplete. Cooper Clark can't hang on to it through the contact. It's 3rd down. They've done that a lot this game, rolling their quarterback out to his weak throwing side. Something that you typically don't want to do, but Parker Morin seems very comfortable rolling to his left, turning his and flipping his hips and firing that football into where he needs. He's been on target for the most part, just he's had a lot of drops this game. Morin back to throw. He's looking left. He's looking upfield. Deep down, tripped up. Flag is thrown. It looked like Jaden Cox and Ben Hank had their feet get tangled on that one. But the flag is thrown, and this should give the Rams a first down. It is pass interference on the Vikings. So on an incomplete third down pass, Cony will get a first down. First and 10 from the 31-yard line. It looked like Morin had him deep down the field, just might have put a little too much touch under it, but we'll never know, as Cox had his feet tangled with Hank. That causes the official to throw the pass interference flag, and it gives the Rams a new set of downs. Handoff. Here's Colby with room to run up to the 40-yard line. A nice carry of 9 that time from the sophomore. It'll bring up second and about a yard to go. Little over 4 minutes left to be played in this third quarter. We are all knotted up 27 apiece. Rams with possession, starting to drive down this field in their own territory at the 40-yard line. Morin will hand off again to Clark. He's going to fall forward, good enough to move the chains. Flag down at the tail end of that play. Trying to see. Personal foul. It's a hit to the head. It's on the Vikings. So Rams already get the first down. This will spot them across the midfield stripe into Viking territory at the 42-yard line. It'll keep it at a 1st and 10. But now the Rams only a little over 40 yards to go to the end zone. Morin hands it off to Clark. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, spinning through, gets a couple yards on the carry. Make it 2nd and 8. This drive for Cony started back at their 5-yard line. They've got a couple penalties, but really nothing that has prevented them from driving down the field. That last one, they already got the first down. The pass interference penalty was a little ticky-tacky, and I can see you call it either way if you're a fan of either team. Regardless, the Rams offense has looked good on this drive down to their third-string running back, the sophomore Colton Colby, in the game. Now it's Morin back to throw over the middle, finds his man Raymond up past the 35. Think they're going to mark him short of the first down mark. It's a gain of 6 on the catch and run from Demarion Raymond. And it's 3rd and 2. They just need a couple on 3rd down. Raymond will move across in motion. Trying to get the Vikings to jump, not going to work. Still waiting to snap it. 3rd and 2. It's a handoff to Clark. He's going to get the yardage he needs up to the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the carry, and they only needed 2. Moves the sticks once again this drive for the Rams. Cony looking to take their lead back. This game all tied up at 27 apiece. From the 30-yard line, it's a new set of downs. They'll move Clark behind him. Or Colby, excuse me. Now Colby takes the handoff. He's stuck. Curtis Fogg and Malachi Sparks in the area. Sparks falls to the ground. It's a gain of just 1 on the carry. 2nd and 9 due up. And enough time for probably one more play, pending an incomplete pass, with about 30 seconds left to play in this 3rd quarter. A handoff to Colby. Colby breaking through up past the 25. Ball is out, but they're going to mark him down just past that 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter. This game is all tied up, 27-27, as we are set to go to the 4th quarter. I want to give a quick shout out to all our sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Twin Town Homes, Topsom Tractor of Norway. They sponsor our Player of the Game segment, which you feel free to vote on. I'll be giving the award out at the end of the game, but if you're somewhere where you can type it in the comments, go ahead and do that. I'll try to see which ones I can. Also, Coastal Auto Parts Napa, Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Big Apple Food Stores, and CN Brown Energy. These are being this year's supporting sponsors for our high school sports coverage on WOXO and on BRG Sports. If you or someone you know would like to become a sponsor of Vikings varsity football and basketball here on OXO and on BRG Sports, just call 207-743-5911. Once again, one more time, 207-743-5911. 12 more minutes left in regulation, because the way this game's going, we might see an OT. We're all knotted up at 27. The Vikings have come back from being down 21-0. Scored a touchdown right before half, make it 21-7. And they've come back after halftime. Touchdown on their opening drive, kick return touchdown, and a touchdown on their next drive. Now here's a reverse. Ethan Demmons almost had it coughed up. Demmons, he's going to find his way out of bounds. The reverse was almost blown up in the backfield, tosses it at the last second, and Demmons uses his speed, gets it down, goal to go for Cony. The Rams in excellent position to take the lead. First and goal from around the 3-yard line. Morin, quarterback keeper, running to his left, finds a wide open path to the end zone. Touchdown. Cony once again has the lead. In the 4th quarter, Point after attempt from Wilkinson. He missed his last one. Prior to that, he was 3 for 3. Kick is going to be just wide to the right. It's no good. Back-to-back missed PATs. There's a flag down on the play. Cony's coaching staff is telling him to stay on the field. It looks like they're going to get a second chance. Personal foul on Oxford Hills. It's running into the kicker is the call. So they'll move it to the one and a half yard line. And now they've sent on Shaquan Fellows to see if he can put this through the uprights. He's been their kickoff specialist today. Is his first PAT attempt this game. And that one misses. Extra point is no good from Cony. They still lead it 33-27 after the Parker Morin rushing touchdown gives the Rams the lead. The Vikings have had it 3 times this second half. They've punched it into the end zone, all 3 of them. A receiving touchdown from Jackson Stack coming right at a halftime. A huge kick return touchdown from Cam Polkinen. And a Curtis Fogg 1-yard power run to, at that point, tie the game for Oxford Hills. They're getting the ball back. Once again trailing, but only by 6 this time with about 11:46, 11:48 left in the fourth quarter. I don't know, man. This score bug is so hard to read in the middle of the day. There's 11:40 something left in the fourth quarter. That's all you need to know. Kickoff from Fellows. This little squib kick. Fielded up by the 30-yard line. Riley Perry not going to get very far. Whistles upon whistles upon whistles. Perry gets it up. Looks like to about the 36-yard line. They have kicked it off to both of these returners for the Vikings. Both have scored touchdowns, one of which got called back, the other did stand. So I think they're done kicking off to this Vikings return team. They squib it, and the Vikings will start at the 36. Fogg with the carry, marching forward up past the 40. It's going to be a gain of 5 on the first down carry. Even call it a gain of 6 up to the 42-yard line. So 2nd and 4 for Oxford Hills. Just over 11 minutes left to be played in this 4th and final quarter. Truman, he's back to throw. Quick pass on the left side is going to be short of Stack. Incomplete pass. It's 3rd down. Stop for Cony would be huge in this spot. Force a Vikings punt and try to get your offense down the field to make this a 2-possession game in the 4th quarter. Vikings need to convert right here. Ridley is in the backfield to Truman's right. 3rd and 4. Polkinen in motion. They fake it to him. It's a counter play. Ridley, good enough for the first down. He's stuck right at the logo. but more than enough for the first down. There's no flag on the close side of the field. Jackson Stack on the ground praying for one, but he's not going to get it. Regardless, Keegan Ridley picks up more than enough to keep this drive alive for Oxford Hills. And there is a flag on the play way back at the 30, and it is on Cony. A personal foul, so that'll move the ball quite a distance down the field, all the way down at Cony's 36-yard line. And timeout taken by Oxford Hills. About 10:44 left, and this game has gotten awfully chippy between these teams. Seen a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct, seen a lot of personal foul penalties. And both of these crowds are getting restless here. Just vying for their team to win. Both teams super competitive at the top of their respective conferences and divisions. The Rams sitting atop Class B North. The Vikings in second place in Class A North. An undefeated season on the line for the Rams. Vikings looking to improve to 3-1. Both these teams are really good ball teams. And in a close game in the fourth quarter, that's about what you can expect. Here's a pop pass to Carter Davis, the sophomore. Davis with room to run. Carter Davis breaks through a tackle attempt inside the 20-yard line to the 17. We saw Davis get that play. The first Vikings offensive play from scrimmage in this game, it went for maybe a yard. This time, he gets that and then some. Moves it all the way down into the red zone for Oxford Hills. This ball placed at the 17-yard line, and the Vikings are driving. Touchdown and an extra point gives them their first lead of the game. First and 10, Cam Roy in the backfield. He gets the handoff. They're looking to go outside. Cam Roy with plenty of room to run. Beats him to the sideline. Beats him into the end zone. Touchdown Vikings. Cam Roy ties the game for Oxford Hills. And an extra point would give the Vikings the lead. The clock just crossed 10 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter. The extra point from Polkinen is through. 34-33, the Vikings with their first lead of this homecoming game. They lead by 1 over undefeated Cony. Still plenty of time for anything to happen in this ball game. Just a hair under 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Both teams on their previous drives punched it into the end zone. If Cony can drive down and punch it in, they need to get the 2-point conversion that they are going to go for. That would put them out ahead 7 points instead of the 6 that they currently were, which is why you saw an extra point take the lead for the Vikings instead of tie it up. So if the Rams can drive down the field and score, they will go for 2 to make this a 7-point game. But we need to get to that point first. Polkinen set to kick this one away. Ethan Demons back to return. It's going to fall short. It's Colby corralling it. He gets up past the 30. Here goes Colby up to the 45-yard line. Colton Colby. Earlier this game, we saw him catch one of those and immediately handed it off to Ethan Demons. This time he takes it himself and gets a huge chunk of change for the Rams. And it looks like Curtis Fogg is still down on the field for the Vikings. He tried to get up before he saw the athletic trainer coming towards him. So they'll take a look at him real quick. It doesn't appear to be anything too serious. They're looking at his ankle right now. He's been a big piece of this Vikings team this game. He's made quite a few big plays for them. Losing Fogg would be a big blow for Oxford Hills. But he is still down. He'll be powered up. And he's going back to the ground. Oh, man. So he'll be helped off the field. All right, Eli Young and Liam Gregor. That is not a good sign for Oxford Hills. Curtis Fogg has played phenomenally this game. So he'll be sitting out while he gets looked at. Meanwhile, Cony down 1 point. They have the ball at their own 45-yard line. And here is Colton Colby, gets 7 yards on that carry, up past midfield. It looks like they're actually going to mark him back at the Vikings' 49-yard line. So a gain of 6. You're starting to think, why has Colton Colby not been playing? He has 8 carries, 24 yards since coming in the third quarter. Their third-string running back making some nice plays for them. Here's Colby again. This time he goes backwards. Back at midfield, and it's third down already for the Rams. The announcer's jinx got him. As soon as we start talking about him, about how well he's been playing, he goes tackled for a loss, and it's third down. Morin, quick pass on the left side, broken up. Cam Polkinen knocks the pass down. It's fourth down. And it's a big decision for Cony. They need 4.5 to get the first down. If they punt this away, the Vikings have scored on every possession this second half. They're going to go for it. Timeout taken by Cony. And we can delve into this situation a little further. Cony going to go for it on this fourth down, or maybe they're going to talk it over and decide to punt. But the Vikings have scored on every possession so far of this second half. They currently lead by 1 point over the Rams. So Cony, They get this first down, they keep their drive alive, hopefully to drive down, score 6, put a 2-point in, and take the lead by 7. If they don't get it, they're giving the ball to the Vikings right around midfield where they can drive down and score. However, either way, if they punt it away, you're still giving up the Vikings down further. Even if they drove all the way down the field to score, they're going to kick the extra point. I don't see any scenario where Coach Danforth decides when they score a touchdown, or if they score a touchdown, to be up 7 and not take the PAT instead of going for 2 to lead by 9. You miss that 2-point, you now only lead by 7, and they need an extra point to tie instead of having to go for 2. Here's the 4th down play. Screen pass. They convert. Colton Colby gets it done once again this drive for the Rams. And the Rams, best case scenario on them for that play, convert. And they are still driving with just over 8 minutes left to play in this 4th quarter. He hands off. Colby diving toward the first down mark. They're going to mark him shy at about the 33, 32-yard line. And another injury timeout. This time for an injured Rams player. We'll take a little break while he gets looked at. So that's their senior captain, Bodie King-Jones, being helped off the field after the injury. That will be a big blow for Cony if they lose him this game. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, Curtis Fogg is back in the game, ready to go. Must have just had some sort of cramp in his leg or a bit of a stinger on that play. But he's back in here for 2nd and 1 for the Rams. Handoff, Colby takes it. Colby gets forward past the 30-yard line. More than enough for a first down. New set of downs from the 26-yard line. First and 10. Clark comes in motion. Fake the handoff. Screen pass. Hank up past the 20-yard line. Looks like they'll mark him at the 18-yard line. 2nd and about 2 to go. With just over 7 minutes left in this 4th quarter. Vikings lead at 34-33. Right after this game concludes, so we'll be handing out our Topsom Tractor of Norway Player of the Game. So stick around if you want to hear who that's going to be, whether it's the quarterback for Cony, whether that be Dylan Truman, anyone from the Vikings, anyone from the Rams. Stick around to see who gets that award. Meanwhile, 7 minutes left to play in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 2. Handed to Colby. He's going to get enough for the first. Next man up mentality for the Rams. Their third string running back, their sophomore Colton Colby, thrust into action, and he is more than answering the call for the Rams. 12 carries, 41 yards, plus a catch for 9 on that 4th down earlier this drive. First and 10. Morin back to throw. He's rolling out to his right. Stops, throwing, end zone, corner. Just out of reach of anyone. Looking for Clark on that one. It was Riley Perry in coverage. Incomplete, second down. Six and a half minutes left to play. Cony needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to lead by 7. Empty backfield for Morin. He looks to the left, finds his receiver. Trying to break a tackle is Ian LaSalle. He's going to be short of the marker, it looked like. So third and a short 2, I believe, from the 7-yard line. Morin, quarterback keeper. He'll find his way into the corner of the end zone once again. Touchdown, Cony. Back-to-back drives with a Parker Morin rushing touchdown. Cony once again has the lead. An injured Ram on the field from that last play, as they'll have some time to talk it over before what we all assume is going to be a 2-point conversion play. Just a hair under 6 minutes left to play in this 4th quarter. Cony just took the lead with the 7-yard rushing touchdown from Parker Moore, and that's his 5th touchdown of the game, 2nd on the ground. And a big 2-point try is looming. And be helped off the field. I can't quite see who it is that was injured on that last play. Obviously, we hope everything's going to be all right with him as he goes to get looked at. In the meantime, 39-34, Cony just takes the lead, and they're back on for the 2-point conversion attempt. They've had little to no trouble moving the ball down the field on this drive. Looking to take a 7-point lead. Morin in the gun. Sends Demons in motion. He's back to throw. Looking flat. His receiver's covered up. Lofts it up in the end zone. Knocked down by Malachi Sparks. The 2-point attempt is no good. a must-get for Cony. Comes up short, and now they still have the lead, but they feel a little less safe as it's only by 5. A touchdown, regardless of the extra point attempt, takes the lead for the Vikings with a little less than half of this fourth quarter left to play. Shaquan Fellows to boot this away. And it's a mystery of who will return it. I won't even go over the returners. He probably won't even kick to him. But Polkin and Cam Roy are actually back there instead of Jaden Cox, who's on the sideline. So they're going to squib it upfield. It's Riley Perry corralling it. He's going to get up past the 35 before being brought down around the 37-yard line. Smart play by Cony. You're not going to let them get another return touchdown off you this game. But the Vikings start in very good field position up at the 37-yard line once again. The Vikings have started at their own 37 once before this game. It ended in a 3-and-out and a punt. Funnily enough, however, they've started at their own 36 twice this game as well. Both times they've started at the 36, they've ended up driving down the field for a touchdown. Timeout taken by Oxford Hills. I'll take a quick timeout with them, catch my breath, and we'll be right back when the Vikings offense is ready to go. And welcome back in to our Twin Town Homes game of the week. And what a game it's been. Cony leads Oxford Hills 39-34, but the Vikings with the ball with about 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Truman on the quarterback keeper. Cuts it upfield, still on his feet, falling forward past the 45-yard line. They're going to mark him just a little in front of it. A gain of 8, maybe even 8.5 on the keeper. Second down, Vikings. Now an interesting decision will loom for the Vikings. If they punch this into the end zone, they take the lead with the touchdown. With the 6, they'll be up 1. If they go for 2 and get it, they'll be up by 3. Which means a field goal would only tie it. Curtis Fogg gets that carry. Should be good enough for a Oxford Hills first down up to the 48-yard line. Whether them being up by a field goal would matter too much is the question. I'm not sure if Cony trusts either of their kickers to hit a field goal in this game. They've missed back-to-back extra point attempts. In their last drive, they went for 2 to try to lead by 7. So I'm not sure if even going for 2 to be leading by 3 makes much sense with that being the case. They fake the jet sweep, hand to Ridley. He's going down in the backfield. Tenny Tibbetts sniffs that play out. backed up at the 46-yard line. Going to lose 2 on that carry. Now less than 4 minutes left to play in regulation. Second and 12. Here's Davis on the pop pass. Carter Davis past midfield. Here he goes up the sideline, past the 40, out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Holding on the Vikings is going to wipe that play out. So a nice chunk play by Oxford Hills. Wiped out by the holding penalty. This ball will be placed at the 43-yard line, make it a 2nd and 15 for the Vikings. Just a hair over 3 minutes left. Truman, false start on the far side of the field. Play over before it can even begin. And the mistakes the Vikings were making in the first half are coming back in crunch time of the fourth quarter. Second and 20. Less than 3 minutes left in the fourth. They trail by 5. It's 39-34. Truman back to throw. Pump fake. Going down the sideline. He's got Jackson Stack. Just overthrew him. That play worked. Just a little too much touch on that pass, and it's 3rd and long. .240 left in the fourth, and if you can't get the first down on this next play, I think you have to go for it. Cony on back-to-back drives now has scored touchdowns via running the football. They could easily run this clock out or get a big play and score a touchdown, and that game would be over at that point. I think you got to play short of the sticks on this 3rd down. Try to make it a 4th and manageable, and then go for it on 4th down. Try to keep this drive alive and this game alive for your offense. Here it is, 3rd and 20. Cam Roy in the backfield, poking it in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Truman rolling to his right, throwing, incomplete. Poking and can't hold on. So all that's thrown out the window. You can punt here in this situation, but you're giving the ball back to Cony with 2:34 when you don't have all 3 timeouts. Either decision is a risky call in this spot. But it's looking like the Vikings, they're going to take a timeout and talk this one over. 4th and 20 to go. If they go for it right here, they need 20 yards in order to move the sticks. There's only 2:34 left, and now after using that timeout, you only have 1 left to use in this second half. If you don't convert, even if you get all the way up to the Cony 43-yard line and you're short, you have to have your defense immediately force a 3-and-out. There's no 2-minute warning, no 2-minute timeout, so you have to force them underneath stack the box. I mean, you can't even stack the box because Morin's going to drop back and throw. So you have to play them in front of you, keep them in front of that marker, and use your timeout on their third down if it fails. But Oxford Hills make this game a lot easier if they can get this fourth down. They fake it. It's a counter play. Cam Roy running downfield. Cam Roy coughs up the ball. He's going to be landed on it. It's right at the marker. Roy fumbles it, but he recovers his own fumble. Is it in front of the marker? I think they're going to bring the chains out to measure this. This is as close as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. That ball looks to be right at the 42-yard line. This is make or break for Oxford Hills. Just the tip of that leather needs to be across that line. Officials signal it. First down, Vikings. The halfback counter on 4th and 20 with the fumble is good enough to move the sticks. What a gutsy play call by the Vikings on 4th and Yucatan. Game on the line. The counter play works to perfection. And the Vikings, with 2:20 left on the clock, 1st and 10. Truman, quarterback keeper, designed run out to the right. Cutting it inside. Up past the 35. He's going to be held up. And the whistle is blown. Gain of 7 on the carry. And now you have to start watching the clock. Time is winding down, less than 2 minutes. 1 timeout remaining for the Vikings. A touchdown takes the lead regardless of the PAT. Second down, Truman hands it off to Roy, going forward, not going to get much. I'm not even sure if he got the first. Up to the 33-yard line, he's going to be about a yard shy. A minute remaining. Vikings need to go. They need to play sidelines right here, need to get out of bounds. 3rd and 1. Truman hands it off to Roy. I think he's short. He's going to be short. It's 4th and inches. Time winding down. 15 seconds. This is the last play of the game. Empty backfield. Truman rolling to his left, evading pressure. Truman fires downfield. End zone. Cone, it's incomplete. Polkinen can't hang on. Zeros on the clock. And Cony hangs on to win. Flag down on the field. There's a flag down at the 19. Referee's picking it up. And they're walking off the field. That's the game. Cony hangs on to win 39-34 over Oxford Hills. Our Topsum Tractor of Norway player of the game, Cony quarterback Parker Morin, 5 total touchdowns, 3 through the air, 2 on the ground, including what would be the game-winning touchdown from 7 yards out. That'll do it for us up here in the booth. My producer, Stan Bennett. I'm Ryan Coolidge. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a great weekend, folks.